Well, hello there. How you doing? I've got some fantastic cozies to show you today, and I want to start with this one. This is part of the new Chevron Jacquard in Navy range from Genevieve Swimwear, Australia's Genevieve Swimwear. And this particular cozy here is quite new to the collection, to the actual whole range of Genevieve Swimwear this year. It's a crossover style. Do you love a crossover? Do you wear crossover not togs, clothes like in tops and dresses? Well, this in a swimsuit has a similar effect. I'm a huge fan of a crossover. I think they're one of the most flattering styles that are out there. And do you see that? This cozy is very, I think it's rather sassy. It's classy, right? Absolutely classy. And then at the back, you can see it there. You can got some adjustable straps. So this one, I would call it a crossover in a couple of ways. Crossover with sassy looking stylish finish, and then it's quite functional because I think this cozy will stay put rather well. So let's have a look at the features and see if it's the right one for you. Now, it's called the adjustable front wrap swimwear, one piece, and it comes in sizes, let me just check my notes, 12 to 22, right? Now, you can see as I just gently pull that apart, that's the crossover feature around the bust area. It's quite a deep V at the front, and you can see how the front there crosses over the other bust. So let me have a look. The right crosses over the left. It's a bit reversed for you. Now, this is the beautiful jacquard print in a chevron in navy. Now, my camera might go a bit haywire, but do you see that it's navy with black? So it's quite a dark blue print. And being a jacquard, it's got a bit of texture to it, but it's really fine. Now, this is not a heavy fabric. This is a medium weight fabric. So it's not going to take on a lot of water, a lot of heat, heaviness when it's wet. It's a beautiful, beautiful color. And I think it's a classic. You know, this is something, it's a print that will be, it's a timeless print. You'd have it for ages. So there it is there. Now, this particular one piece, it's got the crossover bust, but do you see those diagonals along the torso area? There's a seam that runs from underneath the bust up here on the left-hand side, diagonally down to here. So it's got a little bit of gathering in there from the top that sits in there, that's sewn into there. And then underneath, what it is there's some tucks here on the side. Now, these very clever tucks that are on the, the left-hand side, what that does, it creates that sweeping effect. Do you see that up onto the left? And those gentle folds act as like a distraction around your tummy area. So if you're a little bit tummy conscious, then this is great because those folds are going to be, they're going to give you more coverage, so you'll be less tummy conscious around that area. And being diagonals lengthen. So if you have a little bit of fullness to your tummy, this is going to help break that up a bit and create a bit more length. It won't be looking so full. Clever details, clever features in this cozy. There's a lot that goes into designing and making swimwear, and they're just a couple of the brilliant features in this one. Now, at the back, you've got a lowish scoop back and a nice full bottom coverage. We call this a mid-rise leg, so it's not a low leg and it's not super skimpy high. We don't do skimpy. Genevieve doesn't do skimpy, but it's got good full bottom coverage. Then these straps are fully adjustable. They're around about 1 centimetre wide, and you can see you adjust it just like you do your bra strap, and they're held firmly in place with an O-ring. Now, these look like metal. They're a coppery sort of color, but they're actually plastic, so they're not going to burn you in the sun as they're not going to heat up like metal would. Now, let's have a look on the inside because crossovers are quite a complex construction. They take a bit of explaining, but they fit beautifully on. Now, being a crossover, that means that the bust cups are sewn in, but they're almost independent of each other. You saw before earlier when I pulled it apart gently what happens. This is what is underneath to just gently keep them together as well, other than sewing the cups into that diagonal line just under the bust area. You've got this netting here, this power mesh netting that helps to keep the cups in place. And then you've got the molded cups themselves with this fine padding. Now, do you see that? I'm just flicking that gently. That means that these cups have a bit of form to them. There's a little bit of structure because of that padding. Now, the padding is not something that will add volume at all. What it does, it just makes for a nice smooth finish around the front, the bust area, but also gives it that little bit of structure and form, which I think is very clever. Now, underneath the bust, this is where you get some of your support from, that really wide, strong underbust elastic. That is a really firm elastic. Then, because you've got, it's not a super high back, but that's probably around about the bra area, maybe slightly lower. It does scoop up quite nicely, and that with the adjustable straps will help to give you more bust support as well. So even though this is a crossover style and the bust cups are fairly independent of each other, you've got some good support there for a crossover swimsuit. So I'd give it a medium. I wouldn't call it high, but if you bring those straps right in, obviously you're going to get more support. Now in the front, speaking of support, we've got this stuff, which is power mesh. And you can see that there are a couple of seams there to help with that detailing that you saw earlier across the torso. Now, power mesh is something that is used in swimwear design just to give a little bit more firmness around the tummy area, not super sucky in kind of finish, but just a little bit more firmness. I like to think of it as about half a size, right? So that's there too for you, and it's fully lined at the back. So there's a lot going on in this cozy. It is a beautiful cozy, beautifully crafted and thoughtfully designed. And it comes in sizes 12 to 22. And from a bust cup point of view, I do think you need to have a little bit of width to your bust here. So I think it would start, you could get a C cup in there, but comfortably a D up to an E. And if you weren't, so, if you want to bring focus to your bust, you could maybe squeeze into an F cup into this, but comfortably an E, down to a D, possibly a C. So there it is. Now, if you're not sure of your size, the team at Genevieve are only too happy to help you. They really are so keen to make sure that you enjoy your summers and make the most of the swimmers that you buy. Now, you can go to the contact us section below, and there are a couple of ways you can reach out to them. There's an email and also a phone number, so don't hesitate. There's also a size chart on this product page as well. Now, a bit more about this fabric. Everything in the Genevieve range is made from Pool Tough chlorine resistant fabric. So not only does this look beautiful, it also is smart, like it's built to last. As long as you look after it, you've got to rinse it out in cool water, hang it in the shade, and preferably flat, and not put it in the washing machine. That's my tip to you. I also want to let you know that it might be Pool Tough, but it's not spa tough. Nothing is spa tough. Honestly, spas will degrade your swimwear much faster than any other environment. So made to be pool tough and last longer than regular swimsuit fabric in a pool environment, but not in a spa. Just don't go there, especially nothing with something as beautiful as this. So there you go. Enjoy this. This team's back with a matching rash vest in the range as well, but also you could put some prints from the Genevieve range with this one. Actually, I'm just going to duck down and grab one for you. I should have prepared this earlier, but this is the Sea Spray print, and you can see that it's got so much blue in it and some darker navy highlights, almost black highlights. So you could easily put a rashie in this particular print with the navy togs underneath as well. So, if you want to zhuzh up your looks, there's also a couple of other prints that have got blue in them as well. Quite a few actually, where you could match this back with, because most of the collections in the Genevieve swimwear range will have a rash top of some sort for you to pair with your cozies. So enjoy, happy summers, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.